Our first speaker is one of BC's leading sustainability thinkers, having served in the City of Vancouver both as a city planner, as the founder and manager of its sustainability office, and then in 2009 as a member of the Greenest City Action Team. He is considered one of the more innovative thinkers on sustainable cities of his generation, widely known for his ability to make sense of sustainability in a pragmatic way that leads to action. Please welcome Mark Holland.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here. As the last century ended, the future looked increasingly bleak if we continued along the road that we had taken for the previous 100 years. We needed a new direction that we could sustain for another century. And in a moment of clarity and honesty, a unique collection of world leaders gathered and gave us just that, the concept of sustainability. At almost exactly the same time, Vancouver began to come of age. It entered this new century with this new consciousness. And as we moved forward, we learned a very important lesson. And that was that the new direction that we had to head to avoid the impending disasters were actually going to propel us into a new golden age. And there were a number of key dimensions to that new golden age. Our city discovered that living in neighborhoods of different densities with amenities and mixed uses allowed us to live, work, play, learn, shop, and pray within our neighborhoods. And as we began to build these neighborhoods, we decided we liked them. In fact, the whole world liked them. We came to understand the value of high-density, high-amenity living. At the same time, we realized that all the people who were coming and would come, if they brought their cars, would destroy the very things we love about this city. And so a new vision emerged, one which recognizes that the quality of your life is inversely proportional to the amount of time you spend in a car. And so while our population has grown by 28%, our vehicle trips are down 10%, walking is up 44%, transit's up 50%, and cycling is up 180%. The buildings we are building are going to last the next century, and we have an amazing story of buildings, from crushing brutalism to orderly arts and crafts to modern glass towers. And with the greenest building code in the world now in North America, we are going to build buildings that can provide us shelter with a fraction of the impact. Vancouver's landscape is set in an amazing context, and in fact, the city used to be known as a site in search of a city, but today, our parks are now challenged to become the fronts and backyards for tens of thousands of people every day. A friend of mine once told me that sustainability is simply the largest infrastructure project in history. We have to provide ourselves with energy and water and treat our waste and our wastewater without environmental impact. We cannot, as Reagan said, starve in the dark to sustainability. And that is where we are going with the Greenest City Action Plan for the city. Now, all great cities are great food cities, and with climate emissions associated with food extending beyond all emissions in transportation, pursuing local food is a win-win endeavor. So Vancouver's already got a strong foundation of vision in food, and building on that foundation, we are going to be able to unleash a future culture and economy. We have access in this city to amazing social amenities because of public and private investment in those. Our task moving forward is to figure out how to have those facilities address the increasing diversity that we have, ranges of ages, disparities of income, because the quality of life we depend on is a collective quality of life, and these are non-negotiable in our future. Our city is not only a local city, however, we are a threshold to the world for our entire country. We have provincial and regional downtown, we have national ports, railways, and cruise ship terminals, and we must never, in all of our pursuit of quality of life, forget that the engine of the future will be our economy. Now, we've become a habitat for the world with an incredible diversity of housing if you can afford it. But in the live, play, work mantra that we've built this on, I want to now spend the last couple of minutes focusing on play, because I believe it is play that will make us the lovable city. Now, I believe that activity is the new community, and as such, we must create places for activity first and foremost. And I want to highlight just a few in a few minutes that I think are high priority. Food is an activity we all share, and therefore it's a good place to start. We need to pull food systems to the very forefront of our city. Places to grow, places to harvest, places to eat, to celebrate, and to learn more about food, and to create food precincts that become destinations for all of us at 10 a.m. every Saturday morning, where we come down and get to see our food system in operation and get to experience that. Now, we are also blessed with a world-class waterfront, and we need to embrace and celebrate and foreground this subculture of our waterfront, of marine activities. We need to build boats on our sidewalks. We need to learn how to kayak and dive everywhere. And we need to teach our children to swim at public beaches. And building on our strong foundation of arts, and you'll hear a lot more about that tonight, and the largest culture crawl, open studio event in Canada, we need to make the messiness, the exploration, the eccentricity of our art community so visible that you and I trip over it every day. Because after we have achieved sustainability, then what? Is not the only thing left to begin to dig deep into what it means to be a human and to share that with each other and to celebrate the expressions of that. Whether that be music, drawing that in from all over the world with new technology, as we've heard tonight. I want Vancouver, as part of its sustainability agenda, to become more well-known than Montreal as the city of future music. And finally, something off the wall. We are rediscovering the new meaning of family, and it includes furry children. Apartment living makes these the real part of our lives for tens of thousands of people in this city, and their personalities and enthusiastic demeanor is now a new, exciting member of our urban cast of characters. And so, while Vancouver will always be an urban center built from the 20th century, we are now out of that husk inventing a 21st century city that is more than shopping, offices, and bright lights. It is home to hundreds of thousands of individuals, all desiring to live out loud, all desiring to connect, fulfill their dreams and their aspirations. And because there are so many of us, and we will choose collectively to have the best quality of life we can, the challenge for Vancouver is how to do that within the constraints of one planet. How do we combine our ecosystems and our economy collectively into a society that we can sustain for an entire century? So Vancouver is actually relatively young as cities go, and we are fortunate that its coming-of-age experience has paralleled this collective awakening to the imperative of sustainability. And so I believe that we all have a profoundly exciting opportunity ahead as we take the choice to step forward and become the greenest city in the world. Thank you.